Welcome to the Elements of Spirit reading for the element of water for the week of May 1st, 2017. This reading for water pertains to the sun signs of Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. I believe that this should work and provide information for you even if you're reading the elements of your rising sign or your moon sign. Just requires you to have a little bit more of an understanding of what the rising and the moon sign mean. Yo no soy astrologista, so that's not what I'm doing here. I'm working to provide you guys with the readings through the elements, just the elemental flavor, because I love that. Because it's edible spirit, and I like the way that things taste. So in your case, if you haven't listened to the ether readings, go back and listen to them now. Take that message, which I will be referring back to, and then come back and listen to these water readings, and you'll get the information about how to work with your element through the week. Without further ado, here's the water reading. What do I need to know? Water. Crocodile comes close. Time. Stillness. Jaws of life are silent and cold-blooded. I love this. Okay, great. So what this is saying is that everybody else, I've done air and fire already in this reading for ether, right? The air and fire signs have been all about what to do in this space. Ether affirmation. I faithfully pause to break all toxic cycles and allow the power of my unconscious to be revealed. So this week it's all about having the will to stop and pause, acknowledging that whatever is toxic and cyclical is ready to be done. But I can't do it right now. I'm waiting for a little more information to figure out what needs to be done to break these toxic cycles. I wait through the week, and I allow the power of my unconscious to be revealed. When we're talking to air and fire, it's like, what do I do in the meantime? How have I been approaching this? And for you guys, for water signs, it's like contact your patience. I feel like you've been patient this week. Contact your stillness. I feel like there's been stillness this week, even in the midst of annoyance and activity and stuff that's going on. I feel like you're feeling the Taurian moment, the moment of the sun in Taurus. Earthy, grounded, quiet, still. I mean, crocodile is a great example of like an earth and water animal, right? An animal that blends the elements of earth and water because they're so still, but they're also cold-blooded. They sit in the sun to get their temperature, but they also can move really fast through the water. But they're also a little unwieldy. You can actually clamp their jaws and like wrestle with them if you get them in a certain way. There are things that they can't do, but they're so old and ancient and they've lived in the water for so long that they've adapted, and they have this hyper sensitivity. I feel like that has a lot to do with their wateriness too. They have so many sensors on their bellies that can just feel everything, but they don't feel it by moving all over the place. They feel it by being really still. And there's another message here, which is that the jaws of life are silent. So what you need, I love my guides. What you need, this is different from the elements. This is my spirit guides spitting this for me in a way that I can understand it. What you need to get out of your existential car accident is silence, quiet. Oh, and also the jaws of life are cold-blooded. Silence, quiet, and adaptability to outer events. So what's interesting about this is that there is something that's encouraging you and me, because I'm a water element, Scorpio, to really, in the moments of faithfully pausing to break all toxic cycles and allow the power of my unconscious to be revealed, really pausing and really being quiet, especially through Thursday. Don't blah, 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 guys. Don't blah, 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 Mikey. Don't talk too much. not worth it. Being really still, because the idea, I love this vibe of, I feel cold-blooded. So the idea is like, I'm like, 98.6 degrees right now. My job is actually, when I notice that I'm caught up in like a feedback loop and I'm acting crazy or compulsive or whatever, to back up and slow down and stay quiet for long enough to lower my temperature or to stabilize my temperature. So now a new event approaches me from here. And it's an event that is very fiery, presents a lot of opportunity for change. It should get right here. And I will be so quiet and still that my temperature will actually start to rise. I will actually begin transforming before this project or opportunity or challenge comes my way. So that once it's close enough to me, I feel it. And I open my eyes, and all of a sudden, I'm already changed. I'm already like deeply in the midst of change. But the idea is that I'm not compulsively using my inner heat, my inner flame. I'm not using my fire to go and get and be and do and have, to survive, to fill the need, to be satisfied, to make it, to do it. No, I'm not using my fire for that. I'm using my fire. I'm using my mind to soothe my fire, to chill my fire, to calm my fire down, to balance my fire out. So balanced. It's really like I'm using my mind to calm my mind. I'm using my will to chill my will. I'm using my active self to sit still, to stay still. And by that, I also just mean like, don't do too much, don't talk too much, don't think too much, don't act too much, don't start new stuff, don't initiate big freaking complicated conversations with people. Not useful, not worth it right now. Because the idea is, the jaws of life are silent and cold-blooded. What you need to get out of your existential car accident is silence, quiet, and adaptability to outer events. That's what's going to get you out of this moment. That's what's going to, that's what's going to get you through this moment. That's what's going to get you, you guys, last week was gnarly for me. And everybody's been feeling, everyone I've been talking to has been like, oh, beginning of this retrograde was easy, fine. Mercury what? And now it's like, Venus was hard for everyone. Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter. It's like, are we coming, going, whatever's happening? This week is going to, I feel like, bring a lot of information and understanding that help us to contextualize all of the big astrological stuff, including the recent new moon. It just feels like it's going to be a big wave of stimuli, information, input, insight, and then we're going to really be able to move or act or do or something. So in your case right now, the trick really is to not be spent by the time stuff comes your way. Not be so fired out, burnt out because you've been running to meet your needs through the beginning of the week. Rather, use that fire to sit as still as possible, cultivate silence, quiet, and adaptability to outer events. If you have to move, you move, but you don't move until your temperature has been raised. Or if you're nice and warm and fuzzy, you don't move until your temperature has been dropped. You don't go to the event, you let the event come to you. You don't go chasing the actions, you let the actions come to you. You let the opportunities come to you. What's going on here? I'm looking for that affirmation. Okay. Affirmation. I cultivate inner silence until I am compelled to act. I cultivate inner silence until I am compelled to act. I cultivate inner silence until I am compelled to act. So the idea, add that to I faithfully pause to break all toxic cycles and allow the power of my unconscious to be revealed. And in the midst of that, I cultivate inner silence until I am compelled to act. How to cultivate inner silence. Listen more than you speak. Meditation's great. Mantra repetition's great. Yoga's great, right? Physical exercise of any kind is great, especially if you really push to exertion, and then your mind will probably buzz up and reveal itself really hard. But then if you just sit still and faithfully pause to break all toxic cycles and allow the power of your unconscious to be revealed, some good stuff happens. So just keep going into the silence this week, guys. I love you all, watery brethren and sistren. I'll talk to you next week.